Hello and welcome to the She Reads Romance Books podcast, the ultimate show for romance book lovers looking for the best books worth reading. I'm your host, Leslie Murphy, and in each short episode, I share my favorite book list of recommendations so you know exactly what to add to your must-read list. Join me as I explore the romance genre and have fun collecting book boyfriends along the way, because life is better with a love story. Hello. Gosh, it is mid-December, and it's really hard to believe that 2024 is coming to a close and that 2025 is right around the corner. But the end of the year, I love it because it means it's holiday time, which I absolutely love, and time to take a look at everything in the year to come, including all of the romance books to movie and TV series adaptations to look forward to. And I have to say, I have like a love-hate relationship when it comes to romance books adapted for the big and the small screen. It's so exciting to think about seeing your favorite books, your favorite characters, your favorite love stories come to life in those two mediums. But it's also so hard to meet the ideal that is in my head, right? Like, my expectations, and I'm sure the expectations of many readers, I would assume, if they love a book, are so high when it comes to a movie or TV series that they are really hard to meet given, the time and the money constraints present in adapting like a 200 or now often 500-page book into a, say, 75-page script for a movie. It just can't do a book justice, right? But if it is done right in either a book or a TV series, I mean, oh my gosh, it's like a gift that keeps on giving because it's phenomenal, but that really takes a budget, right? And we've seen that a couple of times come through. Like, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine what it costs to produce the Bridgerton series or Outlander, the two that always come to mind. But I do love to read the announcements of book rights being snatched up by the studios and producers, and there have been a lot, oh my gosh, over this past year. But authors will tell you, despite that, it takes so many things to align for a book to actually become a movie or a TV series, even if the rights have been picked up. I mean, we're still waiting for a Court of Thorns and Roses series to sort of gain some traction. It's been picked up by some heavy-duty people in the industry and has supposedly been in the works for years, but there's still no word on, is that coming? Is it coming soon? Who knows? And that is such a huge series that everybody loves. So when you hear other books being picked up, you get excited, but you're also kind of like, well, is that really going to happen? And if so, when? Now, if I had to pick one medium, or I don't even know if that's the right word, I would totally root for a TV series over a movie for a romance book adaptation to do it justice, because 2 hours, and like I said, that 75-page script for a movie just isn't enough time for character development in the love story, especially for those good, slow burn love stories. But, well, and I should say, we do have a few series to look forward to in 2025, some new series and new seasons, which I think is fabulous. But while there are a few romance book to movie and TV series to share for 2025, you're going to have to refer back to my list on shereadsromancebooks.com for more announcements as the year goes on, because studios are, I think, still feeling the effects of the writer's strike that happened and delayed a lot of projects. But regardless, if you love book to movie adaptations, then I've got the inside scoop on what's to come in 2025. With all of the romance books to movies and TV series you can get excited about and enjoy that we know of now. But again, stay tuned to my list because I will continually update that throughout the year. Whew. Okay, so let's dive into what we do now. Actually, scratch that. Before we dive in, I also want to remind you that if you check out this list on She Reads Romance Books, you can also take my fun book quiz that will give you a book recommendation based on what your favorite romance movie is. This quiz, oh my gosh, it's so much fun to put together, and I think readers have a fun time taking it. So if you head on over, take the quiz to identify your favorite romance movie, then I will help identify the book that you would really love based on that movie. Okay, so the first romance book to movie adaptation for 2025 to mention doesn't have a release date yet, but I have to lead with it because it is a movie I am just so excited for, and that is People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry, which I believe is going to release on Netflix. In case you've been living under a rock or are new to the genre and haven't read this book, it is a friends to lovers romance about Alex and Poppy. Oh my gosh, they have nothing in common. She's kind of this wild child, loves to travel. He's very much a homebody, likes to just read books. And ever since they rode home together from college, they became the very best of friends. And even though they live in different places, every summer for a decade, they take a vacation together until something happened 2 years ago that ruined everything and they haven't spoken since. And then Poppy decides that she wants to fix it. And so they go on another vacation and things ensue. And it's just super fabulous. I am, as I said, beyond excited for this movie, not only because it's my favorite Emily Henry book, but because I know it's going to be amazing since Emily is one of the writers for the movie, along with Yuling Kwang, who actually wrote her own romance book that released this year. Emily is not going to want to let anyone butcher her baby, I think, because she wants Poppy and Alex to come to life just as much as I do. I cannot wait to see what Tom Blythe and Emily Bader bring to these roles. And it's just going to be, I just know, and I really hope my expectations are matched, that it's just going to be phenomenal. Filming for The People We Meet on Vacation has already taken place in New Orleans. It ended, I think, in early November of 2024. So I definitely expect a 2025 release date, but stay tuned to shereadsromancebooks.com to know more when that is announced. Okay, so the first romance book to movie adaptation that you can probably see then in 2025 with a release date is called Marked Men, Rule and Shaw, based on the book Rule by Jay Crownover, and it has a release date of January 22nd, 2025. I have not yet read this book, so I had to look it up to see what it's about, and it sounds great, but here is the summary. Shaw Landon loved Rule Archer from the moment she laid eyes on him. Rule is everything a straight-A pre-med student like Shaw shouldn't want, and the only person she's never tried to please. She isn't afraid of his scary piercings and tattoos or his wild attitude. Though she knows that Rule is wrong for her, her heart just won't listen. To a rebel like Rule Archer, Shaw Landon is a stuck-up perfect princess and his dead twin brother's girl. She lives by other people's rules, he makes his own. He doesn't have time for a good girl like Shaw, even if she's the only one who can see the person he truly is. But a short skirt, too many birthday cocktails, and spilled secrets lead to a night neither can forget. Now Shaw and Rule have to figure out how a girl like her and a guy like him are supposed to be together without destroying their love or each other. So, oh my gosh, opposites attract, forbidden romance between Rule and Shaw is played by Chase Stokes and Sydney Taylor. It sounds so good. And if it sounds good to you, like I said, you don't have to wait long to watch this because it's going to come out January 22nd. The film is directed by Nick, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, Cassavetes, who was part of The Notebook. So I think that's a good sign since I really loved that romance book to movie adaptation. The trailer for Marked Men, Rule and Shaw is already out, so head on over to YouTube. Check it out. See if that's going to be something you want to see. I think that comes out probably streaming. I doubt in theaters, but I'm just not sure where quite yet. Okay, if you don't have Valentine's or Galentine's Day plans, you can go see this next romance book to movie adaptation, which is Bridget Jones' Mad About the Boy by Helen Fielding, which is going to be out in theaters on February 13th, 2025. I love the Bridget Jones movies, but I only read the first book, so I think I need to catch up on this series. But here is what Bridget Jones' Mad About the Boy is about. 14 years after landing Mark Darcy, Bridget's life has taken her places she never expected. But despite the new challenges of single parenting, online dating, wildly morphing dress sizes, and bafflingly complex remote controls, she is the same irrepressible and endearing soul we all remember. Though her talent for embarrassing herself in hilarious ways has become dangerously amplified now that she has 752 Twitter followers. As Bridget navigates head lice epidemics, school picnic humiliations, and cross generational sex, she learns that life isn't over when you start needing reading glasses, and why one should never ever text while drunk. Oh my gosh, I just love Bridget Jones' character. And while I will be missing Colin Firth in this movie, I'm ready to jump back into the world of Bridget Jones in 2025 with Renée Zellweger reprising her role as Bridget. She is going to be joined by cast members Hugh Grant, Emma Thompson, Chiwetel Ejiofor, and Leo Woodall. I have seen the trailer for this movie. It looks super cute. Probably also a bit sad as well, but Bridget is, as I said, a character I just love for being who she is, and I'm excited to see her as a mother and as someone trying on a younger man for size. So that is pretty much actually the extent of the movies that are definites for 2025 as of this December. But I will mention a few that are in pre-production that we might see in 2025 if filming gets underway. The first one that I think will gain a lot of buzz once we know more, if that's true, is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I have seen this mentioned as a romance book to movie to anticipate in 2025, and it's supposedly in pre-production for Netflix, but I'm not sure if we can hold out hope for this unless they really get moving. Or maybe they already have casting done and are just keeping it really hush hush because I think it's going to be a really big announcement, whoever they cast as Evelyn. Now, Daisy Jones and the Six was a big success for Taylor Jenkins Reid, who is at the helm of this next big project, along with fellow writer Liz Tigelaar. So stay tuned if 2025 is the year that we're going to see this romance book to movie adaptation. Another movie that we may see in 2025 that is also in pre-production and has its main character cast is Counting Miracles by Nicholas Sparks. Now, we know this movie is going to get made because that's what happens when with Nicholas Sparks books. And so it's really just a question of when his latest New York Times bestseller is going to make it to the big screen. Counting Miracle is being adapted into a movie by Amazon MGM Studios, and it's going to star Alan Ritchson of the Reacher TV series, if you've been watching that at all. I think a new series of Reacher comes out in February, so maybe this would be a great fall movie release. I'm not really sure, but I have this book on my TBR list, but haven't had a chance to sit down with it. But I will definitely be reading it before the movie if it indeed comes out in 2025. Okay, another book that is supposed to release as a movie in 2025 on the Hallmark Channel is Her Night at the Museum by Bryn Donovan. So Donovan's novel released just last month in November 2024 and was inspired from a childhood visit to the Art Institute of Chicago. Supposedly, it's already in the works as a movie for the Hallmark Channel, yet there's really no word yet on casting or a release date. So we'll have to see what transpires for that one. And then another movie I anticipate in 2025 on Netflix is My Oxford Year by Julia Wheeland, as it is in production. So My Oxford Year is actually based on the novel by Julia Wheeland, which was adapted from Alison Burnett's original screenplay. So Alison is, working on this screenplay for the movie. Sophia Carson and Corey Milchrist leave the cast for this movie. So, pretty popular hero and heroine cast for this one. So I'm excited to see what comes of it this year. Now, the last potential romance book to movie release for 2025 that I'm not even really sure I should mention, as I've had it on my list for a year or two and it has yet to make its release. So who knows if 2025 is the year it does. That is A Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow, based on the book by Laura Taylor Namey. So filming for this movie actually ended in 2022, but we haven't seen it release yet. The cast includes Kit Connor, who has been pretty busy with the TV series Heartstopper, if you're familiar with that. He's cast as Orion Maxwell, and then Maya Rafico, she was in Pretty Little Liars original Sin fame as Lila. So who knows? I actually haven't read this book yet, but I like the casting, and since Heartstopper is sort of at an end here, I'm wondering if now is the time that we're going to see A Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow finally release in 2025. Okay, so that's at least where we are now with romance books to movies for 2025. I'm sure there will be many more to announce as the year goes on. But on to talking about romance books to TV series coming in 2025, with the biggest news being Bridgerton season 4 on Netflix, which will be based on Julia Quinn's book, An Offer from a Gentleman. Now, this is book 3 in the series, which was skipped over for season 3 to give Colin and Penelope's story the focus, but we're circling back to Benedict's happily ever after with Sophie. I'm so excited for the season because this was my favorite book in the Bridgerton series. So I'm really hoping it's a good one and that they do it justice. But the TV series, I should say, has really changed Benedict's character. However, so I'm really not sure where they're going to go with season 4. We do know that it is going to include the masquerade ball where he, sort of first meets Sophie unbeknowingly. So hopefully they will stick to the major plot points of the book. But I mean, gosh, just looking at the other 3 series, it's going to be phenomenal. And Bridgerton has been so fantastic in its diverse casting, and I love that we will see that again for season 4. Now, also big for 2025 is going to be season 8 of Outlander on Stars, which will be its final season, if you can believe it. We have had 10 years to enjoy Jamie Fraser and Claire's love story on the screen throughout time, and I will be so sad to see it end because I think Sam Heughan and Katrina Bell, plus all of their supporting cast, have just been phenomenal for this book series. It is assumed that this season will follow book 8, which is written in my own heart's blood by Diana Gabaldon. Now, originally, they thought season 7 was going to be the last, so they kind of had to course correct while they were filming season 7 when it was found out or that it was going to be renewed for season 8. So season 8 is going to have 10 episodes. And I remember Diana saying that she knew how her book series would end, and she shared that at the very beginning of the TV series with Sam Heughan. Now, she's still writing book 10, the last book in the series, so maybe the TV series will include her ending if she can finish her book in time and maybe release it with this season of the TV series. Who knows? I mean, I'm just sort of speculating, but I think that would be really fantastic if, we got book 10 in 2025 and this season 8 of Outlander that sort of brings it all together. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything more there. But I want to say also, in addition to season 8 of Outlander, we are going to see the release of the spin-off TV series Blood of My Blood on Stars, which will focus on the love stories of Jamie Fraser's parents, Ellen Mackenzie and Brian Fraser, as well as Claire's parents, Julia Morrison and Henry Beecham. Now, Outlander showrunner Matthew B. Roberts, he's going to return to write and executive produce this prequel series. And Ronald D. Moore and Meryl Davis are also going to return as executive producers because they were heavily involved in at least the beginning of Outlander in Ronald's case, but Meryl has been from the start. Casting has already been done for this prequel TV series, and it has 10 episodes are planned for it. As I said, it's unknown whether this show will release sort of before Outlander season 8 or not. It's not based on a book by Diana, though she said that she does plan to write a prequel book based on Ellen Mackenzie. So I think that's exciting, and I think it's going to be really, really good. And I think you will want to tune in if you love Outlander, have loved the TV series or the book series. It's going to be fantastic. Okay. Switching from historical romance TV series to young adult romance, The Summer I Turned Pretty season 3 will release in 2025 based on the third and final book in the series by Jenny Han called We'll Always Have Summer. The book takes place 2 years after the events of It's Not Summer Without You, as Billy once again finds herself questioning where her heart lies between the Fisher brothers. Only in the third book, she finally makes a decision. There are going to be 10 episodes that will release on Prime Video. Probably, summer of 2025 is a good estimate of when we will see that TV series release. Okay, as for more romance book to TV series, Virgin River season 7 got renewed, making it Netflix's longest running drama series. I mean, wow, that's pretty incredible. Season 6 is only set to release on December 19th of 2024, so it might not be until very end of 2025 that we will see season 7, but it has been renewed, so stay tuned on that announcement and release date. Sullivan's Crossing will debut its third season in 2025 on the CW after it first releases in Canada. Sweet Magnolias season 4 is going to release on Netflix in mid-2025. Filming for season 4 began in February of 2024 and it wrapped in May, though, so I'm pretty sure we're going to see it, sometime soon. It has not been released for a season 5 as of now, despite so many more books in that series to draw from. So we'll see if it drops in 2025, and then we'll continue after that. As far as new romance book TV series goes, Ransom Canyon is going to debut in 2025 on Netflix, and it has a huge cast. Josh Duhamel is the lead for the hero, and oh my gosh, I'm totally blanking on the heroine. Gosh, I loved her from Friday Night Lights. Ugh, I'm sorry. I'm totally blanking on her, but it's going to be a fantastic series, I think. I cannot confirm this, but we might get the TV series for Things We Never Got Over based on the book by Lucy Score, which would be incredible. Her series was picked up by Amazon MGM and is said to stay true to the story, with Lucy having a, quote, meaningful consultation on the TV series. I would be so excited if we see this debut in 2025. I may have to make Things We Never Got Over as a book club pick in anticipation of that if we get a release date here soon. That would be really fun to do. So keeping my ear to the ground about that one. Another TV series that is going to release in 2025 on Passionflix. I'm kind of speeding through these. Passionflix is the streaming service that turns romance books into movies and TV shows. But in 2025, we are going to get the Black Dagger Brotherhood season 1 based on book 1 of the series Dark Lover by J.R. Ward. JR and Tosca have been pretty vocal on Instagram about the casting and filming for the series, which is already underway. The release date is currently set for September 9th, 2025. It was pushed back to allow for some additional production time to make changes to the pages and to celebrate the 20th anniversary of Dark Lover. Plus, J.R. Ward's latest installment to the series, Lover Forbidden, is going to release on September 9th. So it will be a big day for her if indeed Black Dagger Brotherhood Series 1 drops on that date in the fall. Passionflix has also said that they will be releasing the TV series Beauty from Pain by Georgia Cates in 2025, that there's no mention yet of casting or movement on this steamy billionaire romance series. But stay tuned because I anticipate that one as well. So, wow, like I said, I kind of flew through those last ones here at the end. And while I originally thought there wasn't much to promote for 2025, there actually are quite a bit of romance books to movies and TV series to already look forward to, which means plenty of time to read the books first, which I always do because I think the books are always better. And same for you if you choose to read them before you see them on this big or small screen. As I said, be sure to bookmark this post on shereadsromancebooks.com so you can refer back to it throughout the year because I always update it as new movies and TV shows are announced. In the meantime, you can always go back and check out all of my other lists of romance books to movies for 2024, for 2023, and so on to see which romance books you can already catch available now. And as well, to stay up on even more book to movie adaptations, be sure to sign up for my newsletter at shereadsromancebooks.com/join to stay in the know. I also encourage you to sign up for my 2025 romance book reading challenge, which will get underway this January, where we read one romance book a month to explore the variety of the romance genre. I'm also going to be offering up a weekly challenge this year if you want to up the ante and increase your challenge and explore even more. I'm going to be doing that on my newsletter, so be sure to sign up. It's going to be a lot of fun. And gosh, that's it. That wraps up this episode. Even more reasons to look forward to the new year. As a special gift to me for this year, gosh, I would so love it if you would take a moment to leave a review on Apple Podcast or your favorite podcast platform. Reviews mean everything and help other readers and listeners find my podcast. So thank you in advance if you could do that for me. I would so appreciate it. But until next time, as always, happy reading because life is better with a love story. That's all for this episode of the She Reads Romance Books podcast. I hope you enjoyed it and found some new books to add to your TBR list. If you did, please subscribe, rate, and review the show on your favorite podcast app. It really helps me reach more romance book lovers like you, and I appreciate your support. If you're a book boyfriend collector like me, then you'll want to join my email list so you never miss a podcast episode or a new book list. Just visit shereadsromancebooks.com/join and sign up today. As a thank you, I'll instantly send you my list of top 10 book boyfriends that will make you swoon. Trust me, you don't want to miss this list. Thank you for listening, and until next time, happy reading.